It's your boy Random Reese, and we're going to talk about the surprising retirement of Andrew Luck. Um, Man, it's shocking, but not shocking. When I heard it, I was just like, "This real?" But then I seen from a couple other places, I'm like, "Man, it's definitely real." But little surprised, but not too surprised because he suffered through a lot of injuries. Like, who wants to keep going through rehab and injury and pain? Like, you know what I mean? Like, um, I was in a car accident, went through some rehab, and then I'm still in pain. So I like it's not the same as him, but it hurts, and it's just like going. I'm pretty sure his doctors and stuff go through it, and I'm not trying to compare myself to Andrew Luck because this is a smaller scale, and I'm not getting paid. So people say, "Oh, he's getting paid. He should do it. He let the team down. Why didn't he do it earlier?" Well, he didn't know he was going to be this hurt back in April. He thought he had okay. He went through a season healthy. He can come back this season, and then he gets hurt again in April. Like he got hurt in the off season. You know what I mean? He didn't get hurt playing. He got hurt training and preparing for the season, and comes back and then trying to work his way back, and he can't get it done. And if your heart's not in something, your heart's not in something. If you hate your job, leave. If you're there with your significant other and she's not, he or she is not fulfilling you anymore, leave. Like you can't mask the problem. You can't mask the situation. It's just gonna make it worse eventually. So he turned down a lot of money, a lot of money. I mean, he's got money saved up, but shit, some of the money he may not be able to make again ever in his life. He had 56 million, 58 million left on the table for his current contract, not including the future contracts and other endorsements that he's going to have. But at the end of the day, he has to live his life the way he wants to live it. Um, I mean, it's kind of sad because you wanted to see great players do great things, and he hasn't had the chance and opportunity to be as great as people thought he was going to be. He was a number one pick, but he's never been to a Super Bowl, no MVPs, and he never had that memorable moment or moments like that comeback in the playoffs, or that last second touchdown, or that big blowout. Like he never really had those memorable moments. He was a great quarterback. He was amongst the best in the league, and he always elevated his team because he didn't have, compared to Peyton Manning, he didn't have the weapons around him that Peyton Manning had, and they were always in contention to make the playoffs. So he definitely stepped up to the challenge. But it would have been nice to see if he'd had a good offensive line that went so he wouldn't have taken such a beating. Some great wide receivers around him. T.Y. Hilton is good, but he's still like right in the middle. You don't think of him as a Marvin Harrison or even a Reggie Wayne. Um, he's had decent running backs, but nobody that was great or consistent. No great defense around him. Just like everything around him was just okay. And then the coach was just okay, and he brought him up to being just okay. You saw when he didn't play, they lost, so he definitely elevated them. But as far as his career goes, it's going to be kind of like incomplete, or just like I mean, like just like kind of like incomplete. I'm not gonna say it's a failure, but it wasn't a success as you would think a number one quarterback was. It wasn't like a bust like Jamarcus Russell and Tim Couch, those guys like that. But it wasn't like a Peyton Manning or a John Elway, like even maybe a Cam Newton. Like even a Cam Newton. Those types of quarterbacks and what they've done to the game. Because like at least Cam Newton been to a Super Bowl, won an MVP. So he won't make the Hall of Fame. He retired at 29. I highly doubt he ever returns. I mean, this guy, he's not going to, for a quarterback to return to the game is a little bit difficult than a position player, because a lot of times you draft a quarterback, you groom a quarterback, so for him to come back, he have to come back, get in shape, then go to another team, most likely, kind of similar to how Peyton Manning did. Well, Peyton Manning wasn't retired, he was hurt. Brett Favre retired, but he wanted to get out of Green. He wanted to play again, but Green Bay was like, all right, we got to get you out of here. So you can't play here. You're not going to give us make us go through that bullshit again. If a running back retires and come back, or wide receiver, it's easy to plug those players in. But for quarterback, it's a lot difficult. And then, so I highly doubt he retired. He already got booed, and that was sad. He shouldn't have got booed. I don't care if y'all were mad or what. Like, man, he couldn't play. He couldn't play no more. Like, he couldn't play. So the booing was whack. That shit was trash. Any of y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. But yeah, he's done. I don't think he's ever going to come back, and we'll see. And oh, on top of that, I got a feeling that Jacoby Brissett is going to have a good season. He's going to have a solid season. Look, he's in a contract year. If I could bet on players in contract year having a good season, like you give me plus or minus his touchdowns, his yards, I'm gonna take the over. The wins for the team, the wins for the teams right now is 6. I think they're gonna at least get like 8, maybe 9 wins. Um, Make a run for the playoffs. He's gonna have a solid season. Like I said, guys in a playoff in a contract year always have good years because they trying to get a bigger contract. You play to make money. You play to look. Guys play to win, but more importantly, they play to make their money. Then they want to win. Those are the two priorities. And if you could do both, great. You got like Tom Brady, you winning and making your money, great. But you want to make your money and you want to solidify yourself in this league for a long time. So Jacoby Brissett has a chance to be a starting quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts. And I think he's going to go out there and give it his all. Of course, they got some decent weapons. You got Marlon Mack. Offensive line is okay. He's a little bit more mobile than Luck, but a little bit thinner. So if he does get hit, he may suffer the hits a little the hits may hit him harder. But the offensive line did get better. It's not one of the top 15, but it did get better from last year. And they have some weapons. They have T.Y. Hilton, and they got T.Y. Hilton, and they had Munches. So they got some weapons, and they still got Ebron and a couple other another tight end. So he got some weapons. Defense is solid. Defense is real solid. So they're gonna be in a lot of games. Don't expect a big drop off. They may not be Super Bowl contenders like they were with Luck, but they're not going to be bad. They're not going to be bad. So, like I said, I put my money on Jacoby Brissett, and yeah, like I said, over 6 wins definitely. Over 6 wins. They're gonna give him a decent contract. He won't break the bank, but the coach is gonna see enough of Jacoby Brissett where they're gonna be comfortable with him being their starter next year and possibly draft another quarterback to groom in place of him. Maybe give him like a 3-year contract, or maybe like I'm not sure how the numbers work. Maybe give him like a 3-year contract, 2-year contract, or something like that, where he's going to be the starter for the next 2 or 3 years and see if he improves, or they're going to then draft maybe like a quarterback in the second round to have backup insurance for the future of Jacoby Brissett and the franchise. So, and that's it. I'm out.